Hey guys, what is up? So right now we're gonna do an easy chocolate chip recipe inspired by my culinary teacher again. So let's get started with this recipe right now. So let's start with the ingredients. Alright, so here we got the recipe. We got 1 stick of butter, 3/4 cups of dark brown sugar, 1 large egg, 1 teaspoon vanilla extract, 1/4 teaspoon of salt, and 1 cup and 1/4 cups of all-purpose flour. And we are also gonna be using a little bit of molasses for that extra brown sugar taste that I like. So first we gotta preheat our oven at 350, which is gonna be later. We are gonna cream together the butter and sugar. We are gonna mix in all the flour and dry ingredients in a separate bowl basically, and we are gonna add in the egg and vanilla after creaming the butter. And we are gonna add in I usually like half a cup or 3/4 cups of chocolate chips because I don't like too much in my chocolate chip cookies. So let's get to the kitchen now. Alright guys, let's get started with this easy chocolate chip recipe. So first off, you want to measure 1 1/4 cups of all-purpose flour, starting off with 1 cup of flour first. So make sure you get a palette knife, and we are going to level the top off for the most accurate measuring for this method. So now we got 1/4 cup. Repeat this method and just level it off like so. Next off, we are going to measure out our salt. So we are going to get 1/4 teaspoon of salt right here, and make sure you level this off as well with a palette knife. You could save the ones that fall in the bowl for later usage. Next off, just give it a quick stir, and we are going to measure out our dark brown sugar now. We're going to use 3/4 cups of dark brown sugar, and you just want to make sure you pack it down. We are doing 1/2 cup first and then 1/4 cup. Make sure you get your palette knife and just level off like so, and add it into a mixing bowl. Make sure you pack down your 1/4 cup as well, and make sure it is full. Next off, make sure you have your paddle attachment for your KitchenAid, and just close it and add in a stick of butter that is room temperature. It is important that it's at room temperature so it can emulsify properly with the sugar. Now put it at speed 4 and set a timer for 5 minutes and let this cream. And be sure to scrape it down off the walls at every minute or two to make sure it incorporates properly. So as you can see, it's in big lumps, and throughout time it will emulsify properly and the sugar will cream together with the butter. After your 5 minutes up, your cream, sugar, and butter should look like that, and you want to add in 1 egg and 1 teaspoon of vanilla, and make sure your egg is at room temperature. Next off, mix this at speed 2 and let this go on for about 1 minute to 2 once the whole batter comes together. I'm just turning it up a little bit to make sure it is fully mixed, and after that you just want to add in your dry mixture little by little. So I'm just doing a scoop at a time, and once the flour starts to disappear, I'm just adding in a little bit more until we have no more flour. And every 2 minutes or so, just be sure to give it a scrape everywhere and make sure the flour incorporates properly. As you can see, it starts to clump up like this, and I'm just going to scrape it off. After that's done being mixed, just make sure you scrape off your paddle attachment, and make sure that you wipe off any before putting it in the sink because it could clog up your sink. Next off, I'm adding my chocolate chip. I'm adding about 1/2 cup right in, or as much as you would like. After your chocolate chips are incorporated with the dough, you can either refrigerate it or scoop it right onto a baking tray now. So I'm just doing a heaping scoop of a tablespoon, and I'm just going to form it into little balls, and we are going to bake it in our oven soon. So just repeat this until you are out of batter. Or dough. Out of dough. And make sure you leave enough room because the cookies will spread when it is being baked. So make sure they don't hit each other once they're in the oven. Now we got an oven at 350 degrees and I'm going to bake it for 9 minutes. And be sure you flip it halfway. Alright, it's a little bit past the halfway mark, but that's okay. I'm still going to flip it right now. And I'm just going to add an extra minute because it still looks a little bit too wet to be at the 3-minute mark. So once your cookies are done, just be sure to let it cool down for around 5 minutes before placing on a cooling rack. And as you can see, look how amazing these chocolate chip cookies look. So now here we got a cooling rack and we are just gonna put it on here and let it cool down for around 10 minutes before we try it out. Now let's taste test. Alright guys, here we go, our chocolate chip cookie. Let's give it a taste test. Okay. Has that iconic chocolate chip cookie taste, of course. Very, very crunchy, dense. I don't know why, but there's no baking soda in here. I guess it's supposed to be like a stiff cookie. Overall, not bad, but I feel like my chocolate chip cookies are better. And some of you guys know what I'm talking about. Overall, not a bad cookie. Alright. Well, that is it. Please be sure to stick around for the next video. It is going to be either brownies or sugar cookies next.